Hi again, I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial about how I do my speed renders. I just thought somebody might be interested in knowing the process I go through, so I wanted to just quickly show you so you're aware, and if you want to get the applications you can do. I'll list them and put them all up on everything online. Unfortunately some of them you have to buy, but basically it's well worth it if you want to do quite good speed renders. Now this is an image I'm working on. I'm going to be doing some more speed rendering today. And so what I do is I basically open the document and then I open the application I'm going to be using, which is called ScreenNinja. That's this little application. It's quite good. You'll find the link below, and you can do it in different modes. Okay, so basically you can do it in video mode like that, or you can do it in picture mode. I tend to use JPEG. I put it down to high because it saves a little bit of memory, because maximum is basically very high res images. So I usually set mine to JPEG sequence and high. Now you'll notice some other, and also it says it's going to stop recording every time I basically use an application that's hidden, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay. Now if you want to set the amount of seconds that go by before you actually capture each image, you just click on this little button here. It says it's capture screenshots every, and I've got it set to 3 seconds, but you can obviously change it to hours, minutes, whatever. Okay. Now this playback thing only comes into operation when you choose I'll show you actually. If I choose maximum there, you see playback at 25 frames per second. Usually the standard one is 25 for European video. Okay, I'm going to go back to high res sequences, and it's set for 3 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to go through all these other options here just to show you. This one is if you want to have the your picture sitting in the frame. Okay, this one is to set system options that can be invisible. Now to say that, I've found out that this notifications, which is basically this thing at the top of the thing, doesn't get hidden, and I still get email notifications and things like this. So it's important to understand, if you press Alt and click on that icon, it goes grayed out, which means you won't get any of the notifications, no sound, no nothing. Basically it goes into do not disturb mode, which is the best way of doing it, and then you won't get all these little pop-outs appearing when you do your capture and everything. Now I've also made it so the dock's invisible, which is this bit here, and also made all the desktop icons invisible, but basically you can't see the desktop, but just in case you do sometime it will. And also basically the systems menu is invisible. Okay, so that's basically the thing at the top here. Alright, so now what you can do is move on to the next bit. How do you define certain applications? Say for instance you're running mail, like you notice I always have mail open, and you do other things and you want to hide them so you can't see them while you're recording, just in case they pop up automatically. What it does is, as there's an open application, you see this is open, this is open, this is open, because they've got dots next to them. You can click on the little icons next to them, and if it goes grayed out like now, it means they're going to be invisible when you're recording, so you won't ever see those, which is a great feature really, because you can have certain things floating above your picture. If you have an application that actually sits on top, you can have it there and it's not there when you're doing the screen capture. Okay, and you'll notice for instance ScreenFlow, what I'm using now, is not actually invisible, because I'm not going to be having it visible when I'm actually recording. I'm only doing this to show you the actual tutorial. So once you set all those, you can basically then get ready to record. Now you'll notice on this part of the screen there's two images. This is because I've got a dual monitor. This is my main Macintosh here, and this is my Cintiq. So you can choose which one you want to record, but you do that when you actually start. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this started. I tend to have this down in the bottom to avoid being in the way and everything. If I press record, the screen does this. Click to capture the screen, drag to capture the screen, I'll press spacebar. So if I want to do both my iMac and my Cintiq, I'll press the spacebar. If I want to say grab this area here, I actually drag the cursor and it will. Simply, if I want to do the whole screen, which is what I want to do, I just press click. What it does is it allows you to make a folder or you can save it, and as soon as you press save, this comes up. What I'm going to do is quickly pause it because it'll start working. So this is a little icon that allows you to control your screen captures. You give the stop here, which means it will just stop saving images altogether, or you can pause it, which I've just done. So for instance, if the phone rings or you've got to go off and do something quickly, you can quickly pause it and come back and then unpause it. And what it does then is you'll notice it says the recording is paused until hidden applications are not selected, basically. So basically I've got to click this, which is basically Photoshop, and you'll notice it stopped recording. As soon as I click on that, I need to pause it, okay, and it won't start again until I unpause it, okay. So that's how it works. I'm going to come back later to show you how to do the rest of this, the speed rendering, but this is how I capture them, okay, and I just wanted to show you that just in case you're interested in doing your own, okay. Okay, so what you should have after you've finished is a folder full of images. You'll notice what the size is 2560 by 1440, which is my resolution for my Cintiq. Now yours might be different, but the thing is you've got to resize them down for a high definition video, and I'll show you how to do that. First though, you need to make sure, because I noticed in ScreenNinja there's a little bit of an error where every so often, not very common, but every so often you'll get a screen like this which is blank, and you don't want those to appear in your video because there'll just be a flash of white. So what you've got to do is find them and delete them. Okay, so that's cleared all the blanks out, and if you just scroll up you'll notice they're all basically okay. So the next stage is to convert them, and the way you do this is to do it in Photoshop. I'm just going to close that, and what we need to do then is to open up what's known as an automate batch process. Now this is simply an action I've created, and the action is over here. Okay, so it's the video size re-imaging. It's basically the default settings for high definition video, which is 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels, and that's all it basically does. And once it's resize them, it basically saves them and closes them. So I'm going to select that set, it automatically chooses that. I'll just find the folder I need, which is that one. Make sure it saves out to the same folder, like so, and you just press OK and it just basically starts. Okay, and it's basically resizing my images now. So I'm going to pause for a second because you don't want to watch 3,000 images being resized, and we'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so when you finish compressing or resizing all your images, you'll end up with the folder, and I'll just show you a folder full of images that are the correct size for video. I'm just going to open the first one to show you. So this is the standard size for high definition video, which is 1920 by 1080. Okay, so once you've got those, we can actually close Photoshop, and we move on to the actual creation of the video section of the time lapse. Now, what I use is this program, which is fantastic actually, called Sequence. And what you need to do basically is just open the application like so, and select some photographs, or pictures in my case. Now it does have a limit, so you have to kind of do around about, I think you can get up to about 2000 comfortably before it starts doing a wobbler. once it's started that, you'll notice here there's a little kind of circle. It's kind of like a countdown thing, and it will slowly analyze all the photographs. Okay, and so for that reason, you basically got to let it tick down. And I do my time lapses at either 12 or 60, and it tells you how long it's going to be at those two options. If I type in 60, for instance, it says 30 seconds. If it's 12, it's 2 minutes and 46. Unfortunately, until that's completed, we can't do anything else, and you'll notice the little red lines going along to show you that it's actually analysing the photographs. So what we're going to do is pause it and come back when it's finished. When it finally comes to the end of the recording or the analysing of the images, this disc will disappear and turn into a... well, I think it just disappears actually, and what we can do then is see as the red line comes to the end of the actual session, we'll be able to then export it as a video of our choice. I tend to do it as a H.264 format, which gives quite good compression, high resolution and everything. And what I do is I do two versions, like I said, 60 and 12 frames per second. So I do a fast and quick, slow version of the same speed render, so people can watch a quick version or a slow version. So anyway, it's just coming to the end, so I'm just going to wait for it to happen, and then we can export it, and I'll show you what happens then. Okay, so it's finished, the disc's gone, press that, and you see we've got the settings for a video. I've got it for 1080, which is high res. You can see it's got the settings for high res, and as I said, I've got H.264, frame rate 12, and just press next, and I can put it into the speed render video option, which is 7. We're on number 7 now, so I'll put 7. Save it, and again it's going to take a little while to do this, so I'll just come back when it's finished. So as the countdown comes to its finishing point, another screen will appear that basically says if you want to save this sequence of images as a sequence file, which I don't really want to. It's basically made a video, and you can dismiss that, and then what you can do is I'm going to save it out as another quick time in a minute, but I wanted to show you that basically we have a video of our time lapse in high res, high definition format, like so, and it basically just shows you the entire sequence that I did today, or half of it actually, in high res. Okay, so that's how you make a QuickTime video of your screen capture, again, which is quite interesting, and you can then put it into other applications, add music, titles, whatever you want to do with it. That's how I basically render out a time lapse of my my videos. Hope you found that interesting.